hi guys, welcome to RCC Adventures. Now today, well, to start off with, that took a bit more work than I was hoping it to be. Hoping it was just going to be a bit of polar blast, wash off, maybe a bucket and suds, which I haven't even got to yet. I haven't even done the bucket and suds yet, but it looks better now. I do need to do bucket and suds, and I probably will need to polish it as well, because I can't remember the last time this has actually been cleaned. But yeah, in today's video, this is probably the last time that you guys might actually see this car. You might see it down the container, because that's where it's going to go today, but it's not going to be on the channel forever. It's going to be the one vehicle that might actually leave, because if you haven't seen already, there's a new member to the family of the fleet, and if you haven't seen that, please make sure you go and see it. It's the 21st birthday surprise. So yeah, it's a new vehicle. This is obviously my sister's car, her new car as well. She's out today in the new car, can't get her out of it. And this is going to end up going down the container where the new car was for many months. It was there since September. So I'm going to try and cram in as much as I possibly can in this one video to do with this car. And hopefully when we get to the container it's still daylight. Don't think it will be though. But I'm going to do something I haven't actually done since the car has actually been on the channel and since I've actually run the channel. Is actually give it sort of like an in-depth look, almost like a semi-review. I'm going to show you, because it's an automatic, the CVT gearbox. I'm going to show you how that works. And there's been a couple of guys out there that's been asking how the sport mode works on the gearbox, and I'll show you that as well. But a quick rundown is a CVT gearbox is basically two pulleys and some belts. And unfortunately I can't show you with two hands because I'm holding the camera, but imagine that's my finger, that's one pulley, that's the other. They start off close together, and well, when you first set off, and then they slowly pull apart. With the sport mode, it's holding those two together closer for a longer period of time, sort of like holding a gear. And yeah, so you can accelerate a bit quicker, and then once you put it back into drive, they then release, going into the final drive mode, up to your cruising speed. So I'll show you that. Yeah, started off, I desperately wanted to clean this, and I'm glad I did, but I've still got a long way to go. So hopefully the next bit is when I'm showing you around and it's done. Also quickly, yeah, you probably could see new hat design that I'm trying out. It's only one of one at the moment. I'm trying out ideas for doing merchandising in the future. So I'd like to know your views on it. This is the logo that is on the front of the Facebook group, and it's also the logo that I've got on my phone. It's the logo that I'm trying to establish as RCC Adventures, as you know. So I'm hoping to find out what you think of it, if you like it, if you would like to have one. Obviously then I'd have to go into the merchandise side, and that's where I sort of fall flat on my face, because I have no idea what I'm looking for when it comes to starting with a merchandise company, or just getting stuff going, like an actual website. So if there's some advice out there, guys, that not necessarily to do with YouTube, you might sell merchandise for other things, TikTok, other social medias and all that sort of thing. If you use a a company, obviously based in the UK, because that's where I am, that would be great, because I'm sure if you have it from overseas it's going to cost more because of shipping and all that sort of thing. But this is only one of one at the moment with the company that I bought it from and did the design, and it was 20 quid to get it made. So it's not ideal really. You sort of only want to spend about 20 quid on a hat when it's actually done as merchandise. So I'd like to know what you guys think of it, please, and if you have any advice of what companies to go with. And yeah, it's kind of what I was doing. Shots. She looks a lot better now. And I thought, right, before I run out of daylight, which is happening rapidly quite quickly, let's get on with the sort of the look around / review side of things. So we'll start at the front and work our way around. So this particular car, as you've seen on the channel in the past, if you haven't already, this is a Micra Dot edition, which in the UK are now becoming rather rare. These, I believe the last time we looked was only about 37, maybe 36 of these left on the UK, or in the UK I should say. And it's a 1 litre with a distributor, so it's an earlier model, and it's got the CVT auto gearbox. Driving the front wheels, it's got about 54 brake horsepower off memory, I believe. I think it has. And yeah, nice little run around. This has spent, I would say, 80% of its life in London, being used only to go to the shops, and the rest of the time sat on the driveway in the harsh conditions. Really, that's why some of the paint is gone entirely, and lacquer has gone in other places as well. So you've got paint here entirely missing, and lacquer on the roof entirely missing as well. But the paint that is still surviving is in really good condition and shines up really, really nice. A few dents here and there, but that's down to supermarkets and Emma using it, going to work and going to a friend's house. It's just, you know, when a car comes up next to it and probably just bashes their door into it or whatever. But it's come up really nice. There's another bit there where the paint has gone. As weirdly, it's on the doors along that ridge there, so the paint probably wasn't put on there as thick. The Micra Dot sticker there. What we'll do is we'll pop the bonnet. She's still wet, and I haven't got round to polishing, but I can do that after. Do the polishing after I've done this bit. Well, after we've taken it for a drive. I suppose I better put those down as well. Doing vlog style here, guys. So, sorry for close angles and whatever else. Let's have a look at some bonnet rubber. There you go. So there's a cute little engine. If you have looked at my videos previously, you would have known that we have done a ignition, HT lead and cap change. We changed the spark plugs. It's got a new washer bottle in there. Not washer bottle, that's the heat exchange bottle, expansion bottle. What else are we doing here? I can't remember. New screen wash, neck and lid. But everything else is pretty much changed. Oh, air filter. There's got a pipe cross air filter in there for better breathing. But pretty much everything else is stock. Cute little engine, and as I said before, this is the distributor one, so it's the pre-facelift. Little headlights, small grille. Yeah, it's a pre-facelift, so it's got the distributor engine. The first Mickey, which was the 5-door. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go watch my video. When I first had that car, that was a CVT automatic as well, but it had 5 doors and it was silver, and I called it Mickey. This is called Minnie. And then I did a body swap where I moved all my modifications over onto another one, which was a second facelift, which was a manual, still 1 litre, but it had the coil packs instead. It was a much later car. But yeah, lovely little car really. We'll get round to driving it in a minute, and I'll show you that the operation of the CVT gearbox. Put that down as well. Show you the boots. Again, sorry about the angles. It's trying to do this quickly whilst there's still light. What I do like about these Micras is they've got a fair sized boot for what they are. This is not a 60/40, so there's no split in the back seat, so the whole bench just folds down, but you can get quite a lot in there. And this is from 1995 to 96 car, and yeah, all the shuts are good. There's no rust. It's when I did the first and second MOT check on this car that we had a good look round it underneath, and we had noticed that there was still no rust, which is good, really good, especially for this age of car. And being a Nissan, well, being a Japanese car, they do like to rust. I think it's the metal that they use is not necessarily good for the UK, because even though we have it kind of milder weather conditions, we still do have it harsh. Right, let's have a look inside properly. Try not to hit the van. Let's turn the camera around. Right, okay, we are sat in the driver's position. Nice large steering wheel. And you got hazards, rear demist, rear fog. Different stereo because the previous stereo gave up the ghost. And you've got your heat controls down there. This hasn't got aircon. Let's put it all the way down there so you can see it properly. 12-volt socket, and then you can recirculate down there as well. Nice little T-tray at the top there. That's not an original item, that's an addition. Another holder. I wonder where a holder had gone. Oh yeah, I remember, I'll give it to him. Windy old windows, or as some people call them, quick fit windows, or keep fit windows even. Yeah, it's a nice place to be. Nice comfortable seats. They're not that sportive really, not supportive at all really, but you wouldn't expect that with this type of car, because it's not a sporty car. Let's start the engine up. Let's put the transmission back into park. Actually, let's quickly, before I start it, I'll show you. So you got, sorry, go away Buble, I know you've been defrosted, but we don't want you, not in this video. Right, let's clean that so you can actually see it properly. So park, reverse, neutral. With these particular cars, when it comes to putting a car in neutral, the engine has got to run, because there is a pump in the gearbox that only works when the engine is running, and if it's not, you can actually bugger that up and then you're screwed. Drive, and that's the sport mode that we were talking about before. Okay, so we'll show you that when we're on the drive. Yeah, let's get us started up. Starts up straight away, nice and easy. So this particular car, when Emma first got it, it was 48, I think 48,000, 49,000. It's now done 55,200 effectively. So yeah, it's done a fair bit of mileage in a year. And this poor old thing, it was designed to do those kind of mileage around town. That's still a low mileage for this type of car as well, for the age. Yeah, so let's move on to driving it, I think. Yeah, let's move on to driving it. Right, okay, so let's go for this drive. Oh, one thing you would have noticed, it's got a sunroof, which only opens upwards and has water inside it. So I'm now getting dripped on. That was a mistake. Then we'll try and shut it. So, nope, that's not what you want. Bear with me, caller. Why does it always happen to me? How do? I see. I kind of see. Kind of see. Bear with. Still trying. There we go. Worked that out. Worked it out. Worked it out. There you go. Right. Yeah. So sunroof, and yeah, it works. Into D. Just trying to remember actually where the camera is, which is there, because it's got a massive screen. Let's put the lights on. The lights on this, they're not 100%. They're not brilliant. They're not modern day standard. But this is what to expect, because it's a nice getting classic car. Now you are going to move around because you are just on a normal phone holder. And hopefully the sound's pretty good because I'm using the speaker from the phone rather than anything else. With using the phone, sorry, I have to go on a bit of the mist because I cannot see properly. I won't do that because it's just going to affect the sound. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't remember. But yeah, you're going to move around on the holder. That's still trying to work on the MG. But cruising on nicely. She is still cold. It's not surprising, it's a cold day. We'll get up to some decent speed so I can show you the sport mode. The belt squeaks slightly. But it's not surprising, it just washed the car. So water's got in there somehow. It's just a lovely car to drive. No power steering. That's why the size of the steering wheel is required. Anything smaller, you're going to really struggle. Stay on, please. So yeah, if you're new to the channel, where you been, really? This particular car has been on the channel from basically, well, this car featured in the first video of this channel. How about that? And unfortunately, it's definitely more looking like we're going to have to say goodbye to it. Well, I had to pull over. That was fun. The camera mount completely fell off the screen, so you and everybody hit the floor. Luckily I wasn't filming at the time, but I had to stop to relocate it and change the zoom as well. A little bit close, but we won't bother changing any of that. Right. Nice little car park I pulled in there. Just getting used to the fact this hasn't got power steering, and all the other vehicles in the fleet, no, not all of the other vehicles, because a couple of others haven't got power steering, like Betty and the van, they have got power steering, but the rest have. And it's just getting used to it. Right, so we've now got onto a speedier area, and I'm going to show you what the sport mode does. So we are cruising along at 35 miles an hour. I'm now going to drop it into sport. And hopefully you can hear the revs have picked up. That's the pulleys have come together. And then we put it back in to normal drive. And then the revs drop right back down again. But that was just a quite little sort of blip really, and that went from 35 to 40 in no time at all. So you are moving around a lot, and we'll demonstrate that again, shall we? So we're cruising along 35 miles an hour, drop it into sport, revs are built, they've revved right up, and now put my foot down a little bit, you can hear the engine surging. Back into drive again. Pulleys have spread back out again, and we have gained 10 mile an hour though, and that was only a little tiny bit on the throttle. So basically it's just like dropping down gear. And in this situation the pulleys are far apart, you put it into sport, they come back close together again, and then when you've done the acceleration part, and then they go back out again. You can do this as well by just putting your foot down while still in drive. Accelerate quite hard. But you have to wait for the gearbox to work out that's what you're doing. Where if you put it straight into sport, it does that automatically straight away. Right, that's that bit. But yeah, this car is lovely to drive. The steering input is nice. It's nice and light, to be fair, as you're driving along. Nice Cortina. Probably didn't see that, you might have. The steering input is nice. Because it's an automatic, you don't need to worry about where you put your left leg. You can put it wherever you like. If you can put it behind your ear. I can't. too big for that, and I'm not flexible enough. Throttle response is quite well responsive. Brakes are fairly good. We'll do a quick stab. Car is behind me, but he's a little bit further back. Comes to a pretty good stop. Obviously didn't come to a complete stop. That would have been silly. But for an everyday car, maybe not necessarily this one, because this does need a little bit of work. This is sort of like a second car now, rather than an everyday car. But as an everyday car, easy to use, especially if you live in town or in a city. If you're worried about E10, which is the whole reason why this car has been effectively replaced, I would go for a later one, like Mickey, which is a second facelift, which is a 2001, I believe, 2001 onwards, coil pack engine. They're E10 compatible, where this isn't. Unfortunately, this is one of the reasons why we're having to give it the old sooty wave, which is very unfortunate. It's a lovely car, this. But hey ho, things have to change every now and again, you know what I mean? Right, let's give it a bit of a stab. For a 1 litre, it's not bad. Not bad at all. I know Ron, being 599cc, is probably quicker, but it's got a turbo, for God's sake. It's got to be quicker. But for a 1 litre, when it came out of the factory, had about 50 odd horsepower. It's pretty nippy. Call it sporty, but it's nippy. Just close that window, you probably hear me a bit better now. But we're going to finish up the driving segment in a minute. Find somewhere to turn round. I'll use the road on the left, I think, to turn round. But as I said at the beginning of the video, this is going to end up going down the container where the Beetle was kept for a very long time. And this is probably where it's going to stay for a while. If we do sell it, I very much doubt we'll be selling it this time of this side of New Year, because nobody's looking for a car at the moment unless it's an emergency, because everybody's spent on Christmas and on New Year. So not ideal really times for selling a car. So probably as New Year's out of the way, and once we've decided properly, well, once Emma has decided what she wants to do properly, because I don't think we have the space to have this as well, because there's 10 vehicles in the fleet between us three, which is a fair amount. I know the likes of Hubnut, who has at the moment 12, I believe. And yeah, they're all his, I believe. Well, most of them are anyway. Apart from maybe Shemi the Charade, that might actually be Miss Hubnut's. Don't know. But anyway. So guys, we're going to finish it there. As the sun is disappearing behind the cloud and trees in the distance, we're going to finish it there. We're on a nice little road here to stop. One thing I didn't say about this particular car is that it's all 4 tyres are pretty much brand new. But yeah, so we're going to finish it there. Probably the next shot you'll see, maybe if I put it at the end, it might be just a picture. It will be this down the container. It'll be down there for probably a couple of months, maybe a little bit longer. Not 100% sure, but what a lovely little car. If you ever find yourself looking for a small car, but you want an automatic, get one of these. Obviously this one can't run on E10, but it's not necessarily a problem for a lot of people. It was a little bit of a problem for Emma because she's a first time driver, she's been driving for a year now, and yes, her money's going up at work, but it was costing a lot of money, and plus she's got a Volkswagen now, which most of us, well, pretty much all of us in the family have got at least one Volkswagen. Yeah, So yeah, guys, I'm going to finish the video there. It's a little bit stop and start this video with my talking. I'm getting hungry. My brain is going to food. But if you could subscribe to the channel and give this video a like, and if you're new, make sure you please subscribe. And thank you for your continued support. And we'll catch you with the next one. Cheers, guys.